Greetings, members one and all of the Salivation Nation, staking your claim in gold. Let's explore! What you're looking at here is a coin that has a relatively low mintage compared to the previous releases in this series. It's a coin that I recently purchased, and I've learned to kind of love the design after having it in the collection and seeing it for myself in person. Sometimes pieces like this that have a lower mintage can command quite a premium as time goes on. Right now, pieces such as this are selling for relatively high dollar compared to what you can get them for at the US Mint. And they are still available. When you think about rarity, scarcity of an asset such as gold or a collector coin, it makes it more valuable because of potential bidding wars against it, especially what we're seeing on eBay. But with a one-of-a-kind piece like this that you saw me recently do a video on, this thing sold before most people even knew about it. It's a one-of-a-kind. So therefore, the command for premiums are very, very high for such a piece as this. Whoever bought this coin, it's an anonymous buyer, they certainly did stake their claim in gold. And that's what it's about. If you want to be able to preserve your wealth or to increase your wealth in times like this in the collector market, that is kind of what you have to do. And there's examples of this all across the business sector and real estate. There's a story about Peter Minuit and how he purchased Manhattan for $24 worth of trinkets, an amount that is equivalent to just $1,000 today. And of course, that uninhabitable swamp that we call Singapore is one of the most expensive real estate markets on earth. But 100 years ago, nobody wanted to set foot there. So there's examples everywhere, as well as in mining. And going back to gold, people want to state their claims too in the mining sector, and that is what it is about, staking. And it allows a company to claim a piece of land for the purpose of exploring it. So once it's been claimed, no one else can operate on it, save for the owner, of course. So being first is of paramount significance. The owner of this coin certainly understands that for sure. Well, in this sponsored video, we're going to be talking about Nevada King. Nevada King is one of those companies who has certainly taken advantage and staking their claim. They have staked 7,000 claims in Nevada's most prolific mineral belt. That's the Battle Mountain. Since its formation in 2015, at the depths of that bear market in gold, with very little money and few investors were willing to engage in contrarianism and to risk time and funds on entrepreneurship. And it is certainly a fascinating tale. You can see here how much over the years they have gotten from the market share. There's Dominant Explorer, the developers focused exclusively on this Battle Mountain trend in Nevada's most prolific gold mining area here. It's the fourth largest active claim holder. So if you think about that, going from 0 claims back here in 2016 to just over 7,000 in a few years, it's a lot of work. And every stake requires putting 5 poles in the ground, filing with the federal government, and maintaining the annual fee on all of them for that period of time. If you try to do this now, you'll soon find that there are very few left. How potentially rewarding was this in monetary terms when they acted when they did. So it is really essentially, Nevada is kind of ground zero. It's the largest gold producing region on earth right now. In fact, if it were its own country, it would be the 4th largest producer. And the value proposition of this company is in the fact that any large cap billion-dollar producer wants exposure to a wide range of exploration claims that are currently wholly owned by Nevada King. And they'll probably have to essentially go through it. 98% of its ground has been acquired via staking, and as such, the company does not own past owners, royalty rights, or JV agreements on the majority of its ground because they stake their claim. And they, as the shareholders, they're the legal claim holders. And they have a great team here that is made up of Colin Kettle, Paul Metziuk, Quentin Henai, and Doug Foster. They're behind another gold company whose market cap has appreciated by 300% just in the past 6 months. Quentin Henai is a major contributor to the success of Kirkland Lake Gold, for example, which has soared 30-fold in the past 5 years. Paul Metziuk is part of Lithium X, which has soared 500% in 18 months and was sold at its peak price. And we must understand that there's an incredible angle here with Colin Kettle here. He's the founder of Nevada King, and Paul Metziuk, who's the CEO of Nevada King, Craig Roberts, who is a director, and Bassam Mubarak, who's the chief financial officer of Nevada King, are all the key executive and advisors of Newfound Gold. You may remember when I covered Newfound Gold on this channel, and they have just exploded in value, just over 500% the past 9 months. And essentially that train has left the station, but now they are taking the same strategy and applying it to Nevada King. And it's been a rewarding formula with Newfound Gold. It's now a $1 billion company and has already spent $20 million on drilling to achieve these returns. But now we have Nevada King, which will execute the same drilling methodology that Newfound Gold has in order to achieve the 400% rally. Before a single hole has been tested, before a single rig has been put in the ground and socket and commenced drilling, the entire sum of $10 million in exploration budget is yet to be spent, and they're starting to drill as we speak. And it is quite something to see here with their team and the strategies that they are implementing here with the Nevada King sites. And these 4 sites here, Atlanta Lewis, Horse Mountain, Mill Creek, and Iron Point, it's just amazing to see how quickly they are moving here in this effort for those who are potential investors in this area. And they've got a strategy that's really the best timing ever. This company's projects are all in Nevada and not just in any old district. They are in this Battle Mountain district where 92 million ounces have already been discovered. Nevada is rated the #1 region, remember that, in the planet right now. So this is ground zero for gold mining right now, and they have staked their claims on these sites that hold a lot of potential. And so it is quite exciting to see for those of you who are interested in the mining sector and companies like this that have proven to be a success. By the way, another company I profiled, Uranium Royalty Corporation, has now just hit the NASDAQ. And so it's quite exciting to see some of the activities of some of these companies, because you think about it, the precious metal sector is quite diverse in the amount of ways to be able to not only hedge with gold and silver, and even uranium in this case, but also to profit from it and to invest in companies that are putting resources and risks in this area. So I think it's quite exciting. So this strategy, which can't be replicated, Nevada King was a private company for many years, with a timeline from 2015 to 2018, when gold was flat or down and venture capitalists wanted nothing to do with exploration and development of new mines, was to stake claims in Nevada. So they had the good foresight in order to do this. So in order to stake that claim on federal land, they have to physically plant flags and register the claim with the Bureau. Nevada King claimed over 8,000 stakes. This is something like 40,000 flags, which takes years and surgical legwork. But now they own the 4th largest land package of any active company. You know, you think about how really raw that is. I mean, literally, we're going back to the old mining days where they planted flags to stake their claims. Little has changed, apparently. Now, obviously, they file and register the claim, and there's other things to that effect. But when they physically plant flags in 40,000 over that time period, it goes to show you that they're very serious about this effort here, if they're going to take the time and energy to do this. I think it's quite an opportunity, but obviously with something like this, there is risk involved, and you have to take that into account as well. but they are certainly packed with competition in that area. There's like Newmont Gold, BHP, Vail, and others of the barracks and billion-dollar players that want a foothold in Nevada, and they will most likely approach Nevada King's management, which means this is a powerful leverage to have as an investor. So it is interesting. Investors can check out their website. I will put a link in the description below. And again, as you know, I do cover companies like this where there is risk involved. And so it is certainly apropos for you to do your own due diligence and do your research on these companies above and beyond what I presented here. But nonetheless, it's been proven with each of these profiles that I've done, many of these companies have gone on to do well, but there's a risk and some maybe not as much. And that's just something you have to take into account here. But there's a connection. One connection you have with these profiles is there are established names and veterans in this industry involved in these companies. And so that is something to take into account. But there is risk. So that is, understand that before getting involved. And there are ways to contact them if you have questions. Feel free to reach out to them. They will be glad to answer any questions that you have. So I hope you found this video insightful. And even if it's not something you're necessarily interested in investing in, it is exciting to see that there is new found efforts to mine more gold and get it out there. And why is that? Because everybody is seeing the same thing, that gold is the future in terms of wealth preservation. People want more of it. It is desirable right now. So there you have it. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Would like to extend a multitude of gratitude to you all for taking the time to watch, and encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.